Good afternoon, and welcome to the kickoff of the MassRobotics Analog Devices Real-Time Sensor Fusion Challenge 2.0. My name is Joyce Sidopoulos. I'm a co-founder here at MassRobotics and Vice President for Programs and Community. MassRobotics is an independent, nonprofit organization serving as an innovation hub for robotics and smart connected devices. Let me just make sure I have my... Now you should be able to see my screen. Our mission at MassRobotics is to grow the robotics ecosystem as a whole and support the wide adoption of robotics, as well as support the startups and the community and inspire the next generation. One of the ways we do this is through our technology challenges. So once again, we've teamed up with Analog Devices, our partner, to offer the Real-Time Sensor Fusion Challenge 2.0. This challenge raises awareness of sensors and products and helps encourage their use in creative and exciting ways. We ran this challenge as a pilot last year and had great success. We brought in additional partners to collaborate and participate, including Mitsubishi, FedEx, SICK, Dassault, and Aero. And we decided to build on the success and momentum and are now offering this challenge in the next version, 2.0. So the format of today's information session will go as follows. I'll provide a quick summary of the challenge, and then we'll hear from Analog Devices about the technical details of the challenge. And then we'll invite Bitsurf to walk through the submission details and the process. Bitsurf is the company that developed the landing page and the process and the platform for a collaborative submission process where we can also judge, update your milestones, and connect with other mentors during the challenge itself. So what is the Sensor Fusion Challenge? We are seeking innovation robotics teams from academia and the startup community to demonstrate enhanced real-time context awareness. So using 2 or more sensors, fusing the data, and we're looking for submissions in the categories of automation, mobility, wellness, and other kinds of sensors for fusion in cyber physical systems. So we will choose up to 10 qualified teams who will each receive $2,500 in budget for components and subsystems, and there'll be $25,000 cash prize in the end for a winner. The applications are due by October 19th, and then we'll have a big showcase and a grand finale in May 2021. So before we start, I'm just going to go over a few things on the control panel that will help the webinar go a little bit smoother for you. So if you look to the right of your window, you'll see a control panel on the right. If you want to collapse this panel at any time during the event, you can click on the red arrow and it will collapse the control panel down so you'll be able to view the whole screen and the presentations. There's also a tab on the control panel about most of the way down. It's called Handouts. If you click on that tab, you'll see the handouts that are the 2 presentations that will be given today. One is the technology information on the challenge, and the second is the process of walking through the submission process. And lastly, there's a questions tab, and we'll be monitoring that. We're hoping to get to all the questions by the end of the session, but if we don't have time, all of those questions are recorded and we will get back to you. So after the session is over, if you want to revisit the webinar, we will be hosting that on our website, but you'll also be getting a link after the webinar tomorrow that will give you the webinar recording. In worst case scenario, if you haven't been able to download the handouts and can't look at the video, you can always go to the MassRobotics website, the homepage, massrobotics.org, and there's a tile there on our main page that is a link to the Sensor Fusion Challenge. And so you hit that and it brings you to a landing page that has all of this information on it. So before we start with this year's challenge, we'd like to show you a few highlights from last year's challenge. And Bitsurf put this terrific video together for us. And I'm going to play it for you now. For best viewing, it's best to close all of your other things that are open, all of your other windows, and you'll be able to see this full screen. So I'm going to show this video now. And so that video should have inspired and motivated all of you. I love it. Thank you to Bitsurf for putting that together. And now I would like to introduce our partners at ADI, Ralph McCormick and Natalie Brown, and they will walk you through details about the upcoming challenge. So kick it off.
Yes, hi folks.
Thank you, Joyce.
So you can hear me, right? Anna?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to present the idea behind the Real-Time Sensor Fusion Challenge 2.0, and this slide here, it tends to sort of kind of overview of the kind of things we're interested in robotics innovation. So all different areas, including manipulation, perception, cognition, motion, autonomy, improved system performance, configurability, interoperability, safety, security. So pretty much across the board, we're working with MassRobotics in a number of different collaborations, including the Sensor Fusion Challenge, to enable progress in robotics in all these different areas. So that's the kind of thing that we're interested in. And we'll get into more detail, more specifics of exactly the kind of things we're interested in. Just a little bit of background on MassRobotics and why it's interesting from ADI's perspective. So from ADI's perspective, we're interested in working with MassRobotics partners in the industry, the ecosystem partners, other providers of robotics technology, and we're interested in being able to work with other providers and have our technology fit in with the rest of the ecosystem. We're also very enthusiastic and excited about working with the universities to help drive innovation in robotics, future systems, and also working with the startup community. So this is kind of some of the startups that are hosted at MassRobotics. So that's why we're working with MassRobotics. And Natalie will give us a quick overview of the highlights.
Where we've been.
Yeah, where we've been. But just before we do that, I'll just give you a quick overview of what types of technologies we kind of were working with in the previous version of the challenge, the pilot run. Right, so what you'll see here is a number of universities: Barron University, Worcester Polytech, UMass Lowell, and Northeastern University, and the different projects that the innovation teams kind of completed. So this was the one that won the innovation challenge. It was an assisted walker. And in each of these boxes, you'll see the kinds of ADI and other partner technologies that were focused in the innovation itself, right? So most of these innovations used our inertial measurement unit technology. Many of them used LiDAR and 3D time of flight technology, and others use things like ultrasound, current measurement, force measurement, angle measurement, um, ordinary video, thermal measurement. And that's really what we're interested in. We're interested in the application of different kinds of sensor technology, battery management technology, other kinds of ADI and partner technologies to solve, context awareness problems in robotics. Clio, our startup at MassRobotics, they patented a new invention during the challenge. Actually, this is their drone-not drone, and what they did in the challenge was to help improve the navigation performance of the drone. This was the startup coming out of Brown University, one of the professors there, and it's a grab and go retail store. So it's kind of interesting application there. This was a power line safety robot, and the idea initially was to have a cutter that would cut the trees, but they pivoted, and it's actually a way to identify limbs on trees that need to be cut. So that's a bunch of examples. This was an kind of prosthetic limb, sorry, and an exoskeleton application. And this was projection mapping to show a robot's intention. So lots of very interesting applications. And Natalie now will talk about the results last year.
Okay, you're gonna have to move forward. So very quickly, we started off with 5 partners. We went to 4 universities. We had 3 startup companies. We wound up with 2 patents. One was awarded and one is pending. And there's only one place we can do this all, and that's this collaboration with MassRobotics. MassRobotics brought us all together. We had a super exciting time learning a lot, and we're really glad to be back to do it again, version 2.0.
So the links are the web. This material is available on the webinar website. So there's hyperlinks in here, and you can click on it to get additional information. But this is a kind of a high-level overview of this sensor fusion challenge. So what Analog Devices does as a company is, in a way, measure real-world phenomena, sense, measure, and interpret the real-world phenomena, connect it, and then analyze and predict based on the data. So that's what we do as a company, and that's why real-time sensor fusion is highly relevant to us. So what we're wanting to do is accelerate innovation in this area, specifically in robotics. So it's about real-time context awareness, and it's about better integration between the robot and its environment. So we're, as Joy said, we're looking at creative solutions in mobility, wellness, the future factory, and other cyber physical systems. The rules are very simple, and this is designed to kind of fit in with projects that people are doing already at startups and at universities. And so we're deliberately being very flexible. So the rules are, roughly speaking, you got to use 2 or more sensors, preferably ADI, but other sensors are also possible, and use robot operating system. So that's the rules at a very high level, and this is the timeline. So we're open for registration. There's a deadline for proposals, October 19th. And as we go, there will be a qualifier presentation. We hope to qualify 10 teams. And as we go through the challenge, there are a number of checkpoints. The idea there is to kind of map the stages in the development of a project, which I'll get into in a minute, and sort of show progress as we go at these checkpoints. And our partners will be involved at the checkpoints, and also as the challenge proceeds, and I'll be showing you some of the technologies that our partners are providing as part of the challenge. So as I mentioned, these are the areas that we're actually looking at in terms of application spaces. So I'm part of the automation group, and we're very interested in automation. Mitsubishi are on the line, and they're also very interested in automation and other technologies. We're interested in mobility, and that would include drones and autonomous vehicles and other things. Healthcare is very important to us, and we put in this other category of other cyber physical systems because robots, kind of are very diverse in terms of the applications. So we're pretty much open to all different kinds of applications, but these are focus areas for us. Really quickly, ADI has lots and lots of different kinds of technologies to offer in robotics solutions. So we have radar, LiDAR, time of flight, lots of different kinds of sense modalities, data acquisition, processing. We've got lots of communication technologies, cloud technologies, AI, machine learning, power management is a big part of our portfolio. So we have lots of different things to offer, and we're encouraging innovators to use our technologies. So very briefly, in terms of the kind of structure of the challenge itself, the framework, we see 4 phases: an envisioning phase with goals, resources that are available, and the kind of results that we hope to get at each phase. So in the envisioning phase, we hope to identify impactful original innovations and align synergistically with existing plans. What I mean by that is, if you're doing a PhD or you're doing undergrad work, align your work with the challenge that works with us, or if you're a startup, similarly. As I mentioned, resources that we will provide during the challenge are, we have our ecosystem partners who can help with other technologies. ADI will have pit crews who are technical experts to help using different technologies and are also our domain specialists. We've lots of design resources available. Bitsurf are on the line, and they'll talk to how to make a submission for the challenge. So we've got a very streamlined and easy to use platform to submit your innovation ideas. And what we hope at this phase is a compelling proposals, and again, we'll qualify 10 of those. We hope the standard is as high or higher than last year, and the standard was really excellent last year. We had 18 PhD students and many undergrads helping out, and it was excellent. So in terms of the qualifying round, again, we will take a look at the submissions. We have this criteria that we're looking at, and then we hope to qualify the submission. So it's important that teams would provide the documentation and the videos, etc., in order to submit a good submission. In terms of implementation, we'll be looking at things like simulation, prototyping, validating expectations in the project. And this is some of the things that we'll be looking at in the implementation phase. The idea behind it is that we would have a visible, ongoing, incremental progress that we can actually see and everybody can see on the challenge platform. So basically, people submit videos as they progress during the challenge, and they're available to the entire community to show progress as we go. So it's nicely designed, so we're generating lots of interest, with the platform that we have. Then we will have a final showcase where we would hope teams would be able to demonstrate their fully functional working demos. And we had COVID, unfortunately, but we kept the thing going, and we had all our final showcase as a virtual event. So that's still a possibility again this year. So in terms of areas of interest for robotics innovation, I mentioned sensor fusion, and things specifically would be things like indoor-outdoor navigation. We're interested in robotic safety. We're interested in power and battery management and power distribution. We're interested in optimizing robotics systems in terms of SWaP-C, so size, weight, power, and cost. And these are just some examples. I mentioned interoperability. We're looking at ROS1, ROS2, and interoperability inside ROS2. We're looking at data distribution service and how that works. We're interested particularly in ROS Industrial. And I mentioned also we're exploring AI, machine learning, and algorithms. We have partner platforms from NVIDIA, Intel, Xilinx and others available to supplement our other technologies that we have. So a couple of examples of technologies that we're interested in showcasing and will be made available to innovators are our IMU technologies that I mentioned before that are, for example, used in AMR, autonomous mobile robots, automated guided vehicle steering. And here's are some of the, signal chains that you can see, and you can refer to the slides after the call. Here's another example, a 3D time of flight technologies. It's depth imaging used in different things like box dimensioning. And these are some, just showing the development boards that we can provide and stuff. And we'll see in a future slide in a few minutes, Aero's offering a partnership offering with ADI, offering this development system for innovators, right? Another area key to robotics is motor and motion control, and we have a full signal chain of solutions in this area. So it's another area that we're interested in promoting. And we have lots of power management technologies, communication technologies, gate drivers, sigma delta conversion, all kinds of stuff available for innovators. Motion, angle sensing, and magnetoresistive angle sensing, stuff like that. So for reference, you can click on the ADI Robotics webpage and you'll get access to all our different offerings in robotics here, right? I'm running very quickly because we don't have a lot of time. I will just talk very briefly now, finishing up on the example partner solutions that we have available for innovators. So Solidworks are on the line, and Greg can comment if he likes, but maybe everybody's on mute, so that might be tricky. But Solidworks have very kindly offered innovation teams licenses for the Solidworks tools, to do a robotics modeling and simulation work. So that's excellent. And some of the things we're interested in inside ADI, as I mentioned, we're interested in ROS and the whole ROS ecosystem. We'd be interested in things like how SolidWorks works with Gazebo and other stuff like that, right? Mitsubishi are also on the line, and people can ask questions in a few minutes around the challenge, but Mitsubishi have kindly offered innovators can use these two technologies. So Mitsubishi programmable logic controllers, and you can take a look at the feature sets here, very flexible PLCs here that can be used to control devices on a robot chassis, and also motion control is possible with these PLCs, and human machine interfaces, right? So the idea here is that people would look at, okay, these are available as part of the challenge. How can we use these technologies? And we'll be obviously kind of highlighting innovations that leverage or use these technologies. So take a close look at these. I also mentioned Aero, who are kindly offering access to our 3D time of flight development platform, which includes hardware, software, and 3D time of flight applications. So that gives you a feel for the kind of technologies that are available during the challenge. I mentioned we're working partnerships with NVIDIA, Xilinx, Intel. We may have additional offerings available as the challenge proceeds, but we can't make a commitment on that yet. And finally, just an example of working with our ecosystem partners. So FedEx are a partner with MassRobotics, and here's two examples of innovations that FedEx are interested in, right? So they have a same-day Roxo robot, and in fact, in both of these cases, the battery life of the robot is the challenge, right? These things are heavy. There's a lot of computing power going on here. How can we help FedEx, extend the battery life in these robots? And that would be very, very significant in terms of innovation. This is an example of FedEx have offered access to their loading facilities at Logan Airport. And we can enable any team that might be interested in, to take advantage of that offering. So that's just some examples of what we're doing. And that's what I have for now. Joyce? I think we
Now
hand
we
it over
need to
to
introduce Tracy.
Tracy, right?
Introduce Tracy from Bitsurf.
Terrific.
Okay.
Hold on.
Can people hear me, or what's up?
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Can you see my slides?
Yes.
All right, we have touchdown. Okay, so I just want to very quickly walk through the use of the MRADI Challenge platform. This is just a quick tutorial. This is also in PDF form for you to download. My dog is helping me in the background, so please forgive me. He's part of the whole COVID team here, so we're making sure you're in good hands. I do want to mention, I'm going to go through this a little bit quickly. Please don't be stressed about this. If you have any questions, you can message me through the platform or directly with email, and I'll help you out. I'm on 24/7, so you'll be in good shape. But in general, I'm going to walk through the use of the platform right now. And just a quick overview. You know, it's a portable platform. It's going to work on all your devices. It integrates video and audio, which is, you know, part of the submission, and also any documents you might have. There's a community involved. If you are not familiar with it, you're going to be part of the community that was started last year, which is really exciting. Hopefully you'll make some new connections. It has all the communications tools you'll need for messaging individually or as a group. It's simple to participate, and it's pretty fun to use. So I'm just going to run through the instructions, and again, don't be worried if I do this quickly and you need to ask me questions. But also, the platform is very robust, so you won't break it. So if you go to the website, the https www.mradichallenge.com, that is the landing page where you'll find information just about the challenge itself. And if you go into the upper right-hand corner, you can see the little button. It says, go to challenge. So you click on that button, and it's going to take you to the platform. And then you're going to click the login button in the upper right-hand corner. And when you click the login, you're going to have the opportunity to log in with LinkedIn. So all registration on the platform is done through your LinkedIn profile. It's important to remember whatever email you use on your LinkedIn profile is going to be the email that you get any alerts sent to. So just be aware of that. Once you are in, you'll see your profile that's been lightly scraped off of LinkedIn, and you can click edit, and you'll get all kinds of places where you can start to fill out more about your background, summary, any kind of affiliations you have, etc. And you can just submit that. Very easy. And then when we start to talk about creating submissions, there's a lot of places you can go depending on what screen you're looking at. I've got 3 examples here. To get to submissions, you can, from the main page, which is the middle image here, you can see it says create submission. You can click on that. Also in your own personal dashboard, you have my submissions, and you can create submissions there. Also in the drop down under your name, there's a place you can go to that says my submissions. So there's a lot of different ways you can get there, and you can just play with what one is the most convenient for you. So when you click on the create submission, you're going to get this menu here. This menu actually has been updated now. I want to make sure that everyone knows this year the new 4 categories are all starting with 2021. So any submission you make will be 2021 mobility or 2021 automation. So just make sure to submit under that category. We will be scanning in the background to make sure that everything's under the correct categories, but I just wanted to make sure that you're aware. So once you've created your submission, you can also add submitters. You might have multiple people on your team. So you can add submitters. You can actually enter their email address and invite them to join the platform, which is kind of nice. Then we have the ability to upload videos. You can also upload documents. It's all very intuitive. I'm just going to walk through the upload video because it's a little more involved, not too bad, but just wanted to make sure everyone understood it. Attachments are super easy. We're all familiar with the attachment model where you just click and upload an attachment and then you can describe it, etc. But you see here we've got the button highlighted that says upload a video. When you click on that, what you're going to see is a drop-down menu. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with this competition, you submit multiple small, short videos, which is nice because instead of doing one long 5-minute video or longer, which, you know, it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy. It's difficult sometimes if you make a mistake halfway through, you got to start all over again. This is a really nice portable way for you to create your submission videos. And we have 4 categories here. You're going to have a problem video, and you can see here too a solution video, skill base, and the final video. So whatever video you're uploading, just be sure to click the right button for the category, and then just click upload video, and it will upload. And you can just choose your video just like you choose a document. This image here just shows you if you want to change the cover image for your video, so it's not just a picture of the video itself, but say you want a title slide, you're able to do that very easily too. So you just click, you know, the image button, and you choose the image that you want, and you can upload that as well. When you have completed your submission, your videos there, all your documents, all your team members, you feel like it's good to go, you click on the button that's under your name. It says submit proposal. And so you click on that button, a little box will pop up and says submit proposal, and you won't be able to edit it once you submit it. So you click yes, continue. Now there's no need to panic if you say, oh no, I forgot to add you know, the white paper that we published last month. You can withdraw your proposal at any time before the deadline and edit it, do whatever you need to do, and then you would just submit it again. So there's a lot of flexibility there, but you just have to make sure to withdraw it again if you want to do any edits. The last couple of things I just want to touch base on, this is an overview of the community that you're going to be part of. You can see here it's, you know, you can search for people by their name, or you can filter by roles or expertise, affiliation. And then the platform really becomes a primary communication tool for the whole challenge experience. So you can message one-on-one to each other. You can create a group message. There's going to be pre-populated group messages. You will get notifications in your email whenever you have a message on your platform profile, which is kind of nice, especially sometimes, you know, if there's a deadline coming up, or there's a, you know, an informational webinar or a review or something that, you know, the MRADI team wants to communicate with you. It's a nice, clean way to get it. Also communicating with your pit crew and with other people involved, it makes it nice and clean all in one place. So if you have any questions, the first thing I would say is register on the platform. Again, just go to use your LinkedIn profile to register. So you go to the MRADI Challenge website, click on Go to Challenge, and then you just click on Log in with LinkedIn, and you'll be registered. Then you can start to play with all the different features and functions. If you have any questions, just find me on the platform and message me. Or if you're really struggling, I've got my email down here, tracyd@bitsurf.it. And I respond very quickly. So you're fully supported, and I really wish you the best for a wonderful 2021 MRADI Challenge. And so next we're going to open it up to questions, Q&A. So Joyce, I believe, are you going to lead the Q&A?
Yep, so I am turning on everybody's screens, everybody's webcam, so you can meet the team, and we'll go around and introduce ourselves. So let's see, I'm trying to turn on Peter's. Let's see, there you are. Russell. Yep. Okay, so here's our team. We're missing a few, but I would like to introduce William with Mitsubishi, Peter with Aeroplus, and Greg from Dassault Solidworks. So Russell, and of course Russell, can't forget Russell. Russell is our partner engagement liaison, and he is going to be reading the questions that have come in the question box. We've gotten a couple. So do you want to go ahead and?
Yeah, sure. So primarily, there's one question about ROS. So what's the reasoning behind using exclusively ROS? And can teams work within a firmware of existing hardware? Is that an option?
I think that's a question for Ralph.
Yeah.
You might have to repeat it. I'm trying to turn his.
Oh, is that okay? That's me. Yeah, yeah. I might just get you to repeat it real quick again.
So, so what's the reasoning behind using ROS exclusively? And can teams work within a firmware of an existing hardware?
Is that a question about ROS, right? No?
Yeah. Like, so do
Okay,
teams?
why are we interested in using ROS? Okay, well, I guess we could say we're trying to build robotic solutions that will be kind of interoperable and compatible moving forward, and that's an area that ADI is specifically interested in. Sensors that are ROS capable, power management solutions that are ROS capable. So it's partly our own interest in understanding the ROS ecosystem and the technologies there. Another part of the reason is ROS 2 uses data distribution service as the machine-to-machine middleware. That would enable us to have a network of subsystems.
Speaking about ROS, it's used by a lot of our residents and startups in the facility here at MassRobotics. And I advocate for using it as an open source platform because it's used for a lot of different systems. And if you're a student or someone working in robotics and you want to, if you know it, that's great. I definitely utilize your knowledge in it. But if you want to learn it, this is a good opportunity to kind of get your feet wet in that field. Another question was, should all team members register or can any team members submit? This might be a Tracy question.
Sure. So it's good if all team members register because it's kind of nice to be associated with whatever the submission is, but the submission has to be done by an individual.
Okay. All right, so that's good, yeah, and I think that's good to keep it. I would try to get your team members kind of unified and then thinking right in the same room. I know it's hard now with remote, but Skype them up. Let's see. This is an interesting question. So, what were some common challenges among participants last year? Maybe Natalie or Ralph could speak to this. You're muted.
Here we are. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, all the team members should register so that you can get group communications by the team. Number one, everybody should register and we can group your team. Number two, last year, some of the challenges that the teams faced were a lot was around group communication. So again, having all your team together, that was really good. And once we got the pit crew liaison linked up with the teams, I think they really took off. Everything went pretty smoothly. So, you know, last year was a pilot year. We fumbled a little bit in the beginning and figured it out. And luckily for us, we had all our partners figuring it out together, and our teams were really resilient. Even with COVID, halfway through, COVID shut down the labs and everybody still figured out how to navigate along. So I think COVID was probably the biggest challenge for all of us last year.
Okay, cool. All right. So another question on ROS. So if you want to use a sensor that does not have ROS support, can we use it if we do the iteration? What are the options for that?
Certainly you can. Yeah, you can use it. That's the short answer is you can go ahead and use it. And the other innovators did that as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I also would like to comment on that. I think besides the ROS, we also have the acquisition system, look like the PLC and human machine interface, so the sensor can connect to the PLC for acquisition. And and you also can do a lot of automation inside the software to acquire the signal. They also have some library. So Mitsubishi Electric also provides some of the PLC and human machine interface. And if you would like to use and also develop for that, we also have some training, online training, and technical support for that also. Yes.
That's good.
Thank you.
Great. Awesome. So another question, just flying through because there's a few more. With regards to other potential partners, where would any updates be announced on the MRADI challenge page, or how would they be notified of the updates?
Do you want me to address this? This is Tracy. So there's a couple of different ways. One is you'll get messages through the platform. And again, you'll also get a notification in your email that a message has been sent out to you. Anything that's a little bit broader will also be posted on the landing page website. But really anything that is urgent or relevant to your submission will be pushed out to you through the platform. And then again, you'll get flagged in your emails.
Okay, good. That's great. And another question. So is it okay if your startup has existing relationships with Aero and ADI? I would think so.
Sure. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, that's good. You might have a foot up. You never know with that one. And then are there any limits to team size?
I wouldn't think so, not necessarily. So guidelines might be expected teams 5 or less, 6 or less, that kind of thing. But I think it might be a little bit impractical to have a team with 20 people on it. So we didn't. I think we had teams under 5 or 6 that type of size. Yeah.
Although one team from Brown last year, they had like 3 main members, but they reached out to collaboration partners within Brown, but they weren't people who were on the team full time. So for sure, you can reach out and get help from other people. That's an absolutely cool thing. And just because somebody helps you out and they might get a mention in your paper or whatever, it doesn't mean that they have to be listed at the front end. You can always recruit help.
Yep, that's good. This is another one. So in regards to the 2,500 for parts, is there any restrictions on that? Do you have to buy through Aero? Is there any restrictions on that?
No, there isn't any restrictions. That you can buy what you need. That's it.
Great. All right. If anybody else has any other questions.
I think that was part of the submission last year. One of the things you have to submit is your parts list and your components list so that we can see what you're getting and then give you the check to get the components.
Okay.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any restrictions in that. I think we'd like for teams to be well organized and do a good design and say what they need and tell us what they need. But there's no restrictions on what they can buy.
Okay, so would they have to provide a bill of materials, or is it just kind of?
It would be very
helpful,
and as
just
part
a budget
of
outline.
Budget.
as
Okay.
part of the good design practices, we'd be, we have criteria for scoring. They will be made publicly available, but we'll be looking at really good engineering design and rigorous project management and that kind of stuff. So yeah, if we can get that, that would be good.
Okay. Some more questions came in. So if a startup has received an SBIR grant, would there be any restrictions to engagement with ADI or partners?
Joyce, no.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, not at all. I mean, you can be working on, and even if it's a project you're already working on at school, if you're showing 2 sensors that are getting fused together to give us real-time sensor, real-time context awareness, then that's great. There are certain checkpoints for design. What were the checkpoints, Natalie? They're design, prototype.
Modeling, right, yep, prototyping, all that stuff. But, you might have an advantage if you have extra funding, like beyond the 2,500 that we're offering. You may have an advantage. And teams are it's okay if your university is offering you funding towards your research and you want to move your project forward, that's okay too, right?
Yeah, that was actually the next question. So you answered it right, right before. So if you get additional funding, you can use it in part of this, part of the competition. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and I would just mention that we have our pit crews, our ADI technology specialists and business and marketing, sales, lots of people from ADI. And our goal as pit crews would be to enable the teams to do the best they can in the project. So we'll try to help teams get stuff that they need. But that
great.
we're making a particular commitment to a certain budget and stuff, but the rest is stuff opportunistic, and we'll try to help teams as best we can.
Okay, that's good news. And then this is a great question. So, did any innovation surprise you from last year's competition?
Oh, so many.
Well, I think we were very impressed with. I'll speak for some of us anyway. We were very impressed with the different, the diversity of presentations, from a shop, you know, a grab and go retail shop, to a robot for power line safety. So we actually were, in fairness, we were surprised and delighted by all of the submissions. Yeah, pretty much. It's a quite surprise to see what happens when you see the submissions. Yeah. Anybody else, Natalie?
Yeah, I would agree. You know, the winning team who had the walker actually are they're making it into a product now, and they reached out to other groups within Brown in the healthcare area to see how they could pursue their innovation and turn it into an actual product. So between, you know, a walker to, you know, 2 different drone companies doing things, it was huge variety.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity, I think, to kind of, you know, keep going on with projects you're working on, or start something new, and kind of, you know, use it as a launch pad to, you know, build more exciting sensor fusion challenge items. So.
Natalie, sorry, Joyce, maybe you can comment a little bit on, you know, outside, beyond the challenge, you know, if people want to move forward with innovations and stuff, just briefly, you could talk to that from MassRobotics perspective.
Do you mean
I guess what I'm referring to is access to the larger robotics community, and, you know, venture capital and all these different things that MassRobotics do, just briefly.
Right. So this is one of the benefits of being a MassRobotics company. So if you come up with a challenge solution that is turned into an actual company, or if you are a startup company and you want access to software design packages, hardware. I don't know if you can see what's behind me, but I'm in front of the industrial automation lab, where we have conveyor belts and a whole wide variety of robotic arms, including a couple of Mitsubishi arms. Actually, that's the one that's right behind me right now. Can you see it, William? It's a little dark. Nobody's in there today. So MassRobotics is really a resource for startup companies. You can come here. We help you find talent. We help you with fundraising. We have a couple of events we run a year with the New England Venture Capital Association. So we bring in VCs. We have VC office hours. We run a lot of events that are very focused on customers. So we just finished our robotics and defense event last week, and we had, I think, eight or 10 different innovation programs from Army, Air Force, Navy come here and kind of describe how they interact with startups and the innovation community. Next month, we're doing one focused around manufacturing. So we actually have 4 different manufacturers coming in, wide variety, from shoes to making little plastic bottles to making actually exhaust engines. So we have a bunch of them coming in to talk about what their challenges are. And then we have our startups who are in the manufacturing space pitching to them. So it's kind of a way for our startups to learn the challenges of different industries, and then for us to teach those industries where robotics is going. And then the final one is robotics and construction. That will be in November. We previously did robotics and logistics earlier this year before COVID hit. So, you know, we have all kinds of events that bring the community together, as well as STEM. So love to have any startup who's interested come and talk to me, and we'll kind of go over the benefits. We're very flexible in space. We have all kinds of pricing depending on what suits you, and it's a monthly agreement. So as you grow, you know, you kind of grow with MassRobotics, and we help you grow. So thank you for that.
That's great. Yep. I'd like to give a little time to the partners here, Greg, William, Peter, like on the call, just if you guys want to talk a little bit about what you guys are bringing to the table, how you're part of the community here and everything. Challenge.
Peter, why don't you start with Aeroplus and talk a little bit about that?
All right. Thank you so much, Joyce. This is Peter from Aero Electronics. We are the global distributor for analog devices. And we sell all over the world. We have also have online ordering. So if you're used to doing business with DigiKey and Mouser, we have a vehicle that simulates that as well. We provide tech support, logistics for all order of inventory management and order classifications. So really, that's kind of everything I think I was supposed to say today.
How about Aeroplus engineering as a service?
Thanks, Joyce. Forgot that. Aeroplus is an engine that provides a network of design partners or potential third-party design partners based on really an open network model that links customers and design partners in a secure fashion and enables that to take place.
Thank you. William, do you want to say a little bit about Mitsubishi?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is William Nguyen. I'm working in Mitsubishi Electric in Boston. So Mitsubishi Electric also very happy to join with IDI and MassRobotics and other partners from last year. And we also would like to support the challenge in 2020 and 2021. We also are working on a factory automation product, hardware and software. So Mitsubishi Electric also provide different the same now component hardware for different factory. In US, we also have the different customer from automotive, food and beverage, and semiconductor. Yes. So in the challenge, we would like to provide some of the hardware and software together, and that also have a team for the sensor fusion, acquire, and automation. And we also have a team in Boston. So any technical support, we also very happy to support the team. So very welcome, and wish all the best for the challenge, and wish all the best to the whole team. Thank you.
Thank
And
you,
last
William.
but certainly not least, Greg, who Solidworks has been a partner of MassRobotics since the very beginning, a founding partner, and supported us ever since. So thank you, Greg, for that. And anything special you're looking at of the challenge, or you want to talk a little bit about what you're offering for it?
Sure. Thanks, Joyce. And thanks, Ralph, for inviting us back to the Fusion Challenge and helping out. So my name is Greg Smith. I run the 3D Experience Works for Startups program at Dassault Systèmes SolidWorks. And as Ralph mentioned earlier, very early on, that SolidWorks is here to help with the resources, the 3D design resources that we have available for the teams, for the startups. And we do that across all the teams at MassRobotics and any of the teams, any of the projects that come into Fusion Challenge. And we're very, very excited to see what comes out of this year's challenge. So anybody who wants to get a hold of me could do so at greg.smith@3ds.com, or they can go to solidworks.com/entrepreneurs and fill out the form if they want to request any software. And once again, I'm really excited to kind of see what comes out of this year.
Greg, do you want to talk a little bit about the 3D Experience tool in the collaborative platform?
So most people probably know SolidWorks if they've done any 3D design, but they probably don't know that we're owned by a very large company called Dassault Systèmes, which is, in actuality, it's like the 11th or 12th largest software company in the world and like second largest in Europe. And what we're doing is actually kind of expanding what we're doing at SolidWorks from desktop applications out to the cloud and having applications that help out with the whole project and the whole company, not just the engineers and the designers. So the kind of the next generation of tools and solutions that we have is called the 3D Experience Platform. And that's also available to all the teams that are coming up and applying and joining the Fusion Challenge. You can find out more information up on the website that I had given you before. So yeah, definitely check it out. It's really, really interesting. I'm very excited about it.
So thank you. So thanks to all of our partners, and we're looking forward to, now that we kicked it off, seeing some of all of your applications coming in and submissions and all of the really interesting projects that you're gonna show us. So thanks to all you guys on the screen for your support, and we'll close it out with that.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Take care.